Congress-led I.N.D.I.A bloc has come down heavily on Bharatiya Janata Party, terming BJP as an automatic washing machine for the corrupt, and opposition alleges that politicians accused of corruption on crossing over to Bharatiya Janata Party are given a reprieve, either in form of their cases being closed or their cases being thrown into a cold storage. Before we delve further into our discussion, let me play out some tweets on the side of the humor on this washing machine allegation. Kharge, Saurabh Bharadwaj, all of them. Now, these are the tweets which most of these leaders came up with morning. As Bharadwaj said, BJP equals to washing machine. Jairam Ramesh came out with an entire tweet out, and he said that Modi brand washing powder. And he went on, and Kharge says that Modi's washing machine has become fully automatic. The moment you join BJP, you are squeaky clean despite misuse of investigative agency by Modi Shah as a political weapon has not only hit the autonomy, these agencies, but become an implement, a curse to level playing field in democracy. The larger story is 25 prominent politicians facing probe from central agencies for alleged corruption moved to BJP, and 23 of them have been granted a reprieve. As per a media report, 3 of these cases have been closed, whereas 20 of them are in cold storage, facing no further probe. However, the case is the opposite for the opposition leaders. 95% of all probes by central agencies since 2014 have been against the opposition. BJP's I.N.D.I.A countered the washing machine charge. Let's listen to Nishikant.
किस कांग्रेस वॉशिंग मशीन की बात कर रहे हैं? मधु कोड़ा को जब जेल भेजा आपने, तो मधु कोड़ा तो आपका चीफ मिनिस्टर था ना। राजा को यदि आपने डीएमके के आदमी को जेल भेजा और कनीमोजी को जेल भेजा, जिसके साथ आप चुनाव लड़ रहे हो, तो वो उस वक्त वॉशिंग मशीन था। आप तो जेल जाते हुए आदमी को जो है मंत्री बनाकर बैठे हुए। तो दयानिधि मारन को आपको हटाना पड़ा, लालू प्रसाद को आपने जेल भेजा, हमने थोड़े भेजा। लालू प्रसाद वॉशिंग मशीन था उस वक्त। जो चोर होगा वो जेल जाए। कांग्रेस को कोई मुंह नहीं है। कांग्रेस अपने लोगों को जेल भेजती है और उसके बाद उससे एक्सटॉर्शन करती है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी चोरों को जेल भेजती है। दोनों में यही फर्क है।
Right now, I'm joined by Dr. Pooja Tripathi, spokesperson of the Congress Party. In studio, I'm joined by my input editor, Brijesh Pandey. Let me straight away go to Brijesh first, and then I'll go to Pooja Tripathi. Brijesh, just put it in perspective. This media report came out, analysis was done in a newspaper. It's a shared thing, but the fact of the matter is that someone has brought all these cases together. And the argument is that if you're on the same side, you are
someone has
taken
done
care of.
Someone has basically done what was there in the full public view, which is someone has collated and give a chronological order to the cases, you know, how they were hounded by the enforcement directorate before and after. That is, before they became amiable to BJP's overtures and joined the BJP. So I think, you know, this is something which has led to a massive embarrassment as far as the government is concerned. I think it gives a lot of shot in the arm for the opposition parties because this is something which they have been talking about it. The cases, the fact of the matter is that 90% of the cases, 95% of the cases which you are hearing right now in Delhi, which are being pursued very actively by enforcement directorate, is something in which all the opposition leaders are the target. So I think the one thing is very clear that if you go by the report and the way it has panned out, it is very, very clear that enforcement directorate has become also one of the focal point of this particular action. As I have been saying that it is also one of the biggest unifier as far as the I.N.D.I.A alliance is concerned.
Okay, you are saying that it's the biggest unifier. Let me go across to Dr. Pooja Tripathi. Your opening comment on the report which was published, that the people who cross over, they are part of the safety net. Those who don't, well, they have to face the music. Please unmute yourself.
Sorry. I'll reiterate what Brijesh ji has just said. This was there in the full public view. Someone who came across, who ceded power, becoming the ambassador of anti-corruption, saying na khaunga, na khane dunga. The data speaks. 23 out of 25 people accused of serious corruption, massive corruption. 23 have been reprieved, and three cases have been closed. I think, Kartikeya, when we were growing up, there was this Nirma ad which said washing powder Nirma, दूध सी सफेदी जो मिनटों में आए और रंगीन कपड़े भी धुल धुल जाए. The rangeen kapde is the range and diversity of corruption. One who enters BJP, it comes squeaky clean out of corruption. Look at Himanta Biswa Sarma. They even went on to extend to bring about a white paper on his corruption. All clean, nothing, no action taken since he has joined BJP. The list is long. Hassan Mushrif, there's Narayan Rane, there's Bhavna Gavli, there's everyone, even the latest Praful Patel who's been scot-free in aviation scam. So the people who take moral high grounds on corruption, saying मैं एक पैसा corruption का आप लोगों को वापस करूंगा, they are taking people who just a day before Pradhanmantri Modi ji accused Ajit Pawar of 70,000 crore ka aadmi, and the next day he joins BJP, becomes the deputy chief minister. Everything is closed. The way the politicization of these constitutional bodies through ED and investigative agencies have occurred, it has just eroded all the level playing field of in the electoral democracy. Also, never before we have seen this kind of misuse of agencies. 95% cases against opposition leaders in 2004 to 14. Kartikeya, other than all the cases the ED were investigating, there were 11 political leaders that they were investigating. 6 were from I.N.D.A and 3 were from BJP. And look at now, 95% are from opposition leaders, and they were the irony of the matter is, and Uddhav Thakere's good Shiv Sena Uddhav Thakere good took out their MP list, MP candidates list, and an hour later ED knocks at the door of one of the candidates. An hour later, so not only ED has lost its credibility, the government has lost its credibility when they can't answer anything on electoral bond, when they can't answer anything on thousands and thousands of people accused of thousands and thousands of crores of corruption, and they come into this BJP washing machine, they come out squeaky clean, and then they give a moral high ground on corruption. Nishikant Dubey was just telling kisne bheja Madhu Koda ko, Lalu Yadav ko. Nishikant Dubey has been accused of land
you see,
grabbing,
but then it begets a question, and the question is, despite the fact that I have put the facts which have been published in newspaper in front of the entire panel, it has not created any sympathy for the opposition. Why?
Well, I think, then we come to part B of the entire thing. The thing is that, Kartikeya, for you to make narrations stick, or for you to be taken very, very seriously by the public at large, you require a very credible face making these allegations. They are there out in the open. Political party says something when they are not in power. Political party do completely different when they are in power. We have seen the likes of VP Singh. We have also seen, Prime Minister Narendra Modi when he was making these allegations, talking about corruption in 2013. People respected that and people bought that. The thing is that right now, the opposition parties they don't have a leader of that stature, someone who tells them that, this is what the BJP is doing, this is something which is wrong, these are the issues and all, and people lap it up. So the political currency of the opposition parties are not exactly where it should be, and elections are around the corner. That is the reason why, despite these figures being out in the public, despite opposition leaders, senior opposition leaders saying it time and again, it has failed to become an electoral issue. Otherwise, imagine a government which is priding itself so high on probity, and these kind of figures come out and these kind of names come out, which is out there, which was already out in the open domain. It should have created a lot of furor, but did it? No, it did not.
I think that's a very relevant point made by Brijesh, that despite the fact that out of 25, 23 people who crossed over, it should have and could have created some sympathy for the Congress. But none of that has happened.
Yeah, because I disagree with Brijesh ji when he talks about the political currency. I am on the 5th panel of the day today. Starting 11 a.m., I've started attending news debate discussion. Nowhere. I repeat, this is the first panel that I'm attending that's discussing the Indian Express report of the massive corruption that's going on in the underbelly of government. No one, not
it is the
even
first
one
panel. It is the first panel, madam, because you're sitting on News 9 live.
Exactly.
And that's the India's first CTV channel, and it has the
Yeah,
courage to report what it wants when it wants, and where it wants.
And that's when we say, media is a crucial part. Media, when it says it's a pillar of democracy, it needs to ask the tough questions. It needs to ask the questions in the eye of the government. It needs to quote this Indian Express report, which Indian Express has not come out as an investigative piece. These facts are there out in the
Okay.
open in the public.
Okay. I'll just stop you, Pooja. I'll just stop you. I'm also joined by Vandana Sinha, spokesperson of the I.N.D.I.A party. Very warm welcome to you, Vandana.
Thank you.
Your opening comments on the report which came out, 25 people who crossed over, 23 को छाया मिल गई. Your comments.
See, my first comment is that because it's nothing new when BJP is in power. So if we'll talk about the allegations made by the BJP or the BJP's ED and CBI, whatever we could say, right? So it's one or the other things. So now it's a big day for us that this is a victory, that Sanjay Singh is the first leader in India, I guess, without joining BJP, got bail in PMLA case. So now I think I can say ultimately the justice prevails, and it shows that the I.N.D.I.A party leaders are not like others. Because of the allegations, they joined Bharatiya Janata Party and they got, I'm not saying that acquittal, but definitely the trial has been stopped by the
But
ED
Vandana,
and
there are
CBI.
other leaders of I.N.D.I.A party who have not got bail. Your former deputy chief minister has not got bail. I think Mr. Jain has also not got bail. Mr. Jain has also not got bail.
So this is the starting. We have to.
But today the story is not about Mr. Sanjay. Today the story is about, is it correct to say that the investigative agencies have been misused or not?
See, if you see the Supreme Court order itself, I'm telling you a very short events. In the first instance, in the 12th October 2023, the Supreme Court said itself, if this court will go in a trial, this case will fall flat. So, because it will go for the cross-examination, ED cannot sustain in this court. This was said in the 12th October 2023. And if you'll see in the order which was passed by Justice Khanna in 30th October 2023, when it was asserted the allegation made by ED for the 100 crore rupees a matter of debate. So, even the today's order, if you see that the Supreme Court said because there was no money trail was found. So the ED did not have any option, because if he will oppose, the Supreme Court himself said, if he will oppose the application, oppose the bail, then we have to pass the order, because you are miserably failed to prove the allegations about the money trail. So there is nothing left in the case, because PMLA, the law is
Vandana,
very...
I know where you, I know as a spokesperson of the I.N.D.I.A party, you will try to take my debate back to this particular case. But my debate is larger. It's about those 25 people who walked out of their respective parties and now are very, very comfortable. It's a larger issue of transparency, accountability
And misuse of central agencies.
and misuse of central agencies. It's not about one person. It's about the fact, have these agencies been misused, one, and second, also accountability of the opposition. One case of corruption brought down entire Rajiv Gandhi's government. This is the question I asked Brajesh also. Fair enough. I mean, as political parties, you have right to corner the government. That's your right in democracy. But my question is to you. You guys have not been able to get the sympathy which was visible in 1989-90 when VP Singh was out. The same thing is not there. And we discussed in the newsroom, me and Brajesh, will the same number of crowd come out when Anna Hazare was being taken to Tihar jail? That did not happen. Why that mobilization is absent?
See, my point of view is that whatever you said, because you're just talking about the 25 people, those, out of 25, 23 walked away from the party and they got clean. And again, I'm saying, even
No,
it
that
is
didn't
in the...
get clean. No. Vandana, they did not get clean. The idea is, I think they got the clean chit.
No, this is what happened with the Chhagan Bhujbal. What happened with the Chhagan Bhujbal? What happened with Ajit Pawar? What happened with I.N.D.I.A? What happened with Hemant Biswa Sharma? What happened with Ajit Pawar? What happened with Praful Patel? If you see, because BJP himself started making allegations, they labeled Ajit Pawar with the allegation of 70,000 crores. And when he joined Bharatiya Janata Party, what had happened? He became the deputy CM, and same with the Hemant Biswa Sharma. And because the allegation was made by the BJP itself, they walked to
So,
BJP. The moment he walked to
so it
BJP,
begets
he
another
became
question. It begets another question, Brijesh. So was Rahul Gandhi right when he said a senior politician called me and he said, "मैं जेल नहीं जाना चाहता"?
Could be. See that I see the point is that he made reference when Ashok Chavan left, and he made this statement a day later, and Ashok Chavan said, "I did not go and meet." But the fact of the matter is that it could have very easily been a conversation of the same proportion. See, the fact is that what is interesting and intriguing is that people, and especially the political parties, are not slugging it out on the street as they are supposed to be. I would rate Aam Aadmi Party slightly better than other parties, is that their approach is far more pugnacious, far more they display far more street fighting spirit than many other political parties, because otherwise parties are restricting themselves to social media. They feel that a social media campaign is something which will generate a degree of goodwill for you. They feel that you appear in 10 panels and you will be able to communicate to the whole wide world. It doesn't happen like that. There's a famous photograph which many from the Congress, AAP and others also used to lampoon the BJP, where you Smriti Irani, Rajnath Singh sitting on the floor on the road with cylinders and protesting against cylinder hike. There's flip side to that argument, Kartike. The fact is that when it came to price rise in cylinder prices, BJP had the guts to, and BJP has the wherewithal to ask all their topmost leaders to sit on the floor and sit on the street to protest against that. How many protests are you seeing such days in the last 20 years, when two of the biggest revelations have come forward vis-a-vis the court and this particular result? You will be struggling to find that kind of campaign, which otherwise used to be almost a daily occurrences. That desire to fight it on the street is missing from most of the political parties.
So basically, Pooja, Brijesh is saying that the symphony, there is no symphony when it comes to I.N.D.I.A alliance. There is no symphony. The orchestra is not coordinated. You have discordant notes, and it is for this reason you have not been able to create a pushback against BJP, because ultimately it's politics,
I don't agree. I don't agree, Kartikeya. The only leader who walked across the length and breadth of the country, raising every issue that's being raised by common man, be it women's security, be it Manipur issue, be it inflation, be it unemployment, is Mr. Gandhi himself. So when you're saying that political parties are not mobilizing, we saw the biggest Padyatra that happened in the last few months. We see the continuous protest, continuous flash protest that's happening. And the whole idea of I.N.D.I.A, when you call it, the India Alliance coming together, was to fight on the issues faced by the people, the massive unemployment, the constant paper leaks happening, the skyscraping inflation that's happening. So when saying that political currency is lacking, I think it's all again. I'll blame first. I'll accuse media of being very partial and creating a smoke screen of everything is good. Modi ji Vishwa Guru hai.
Please, Pooja, I just want to interject. Usually we don't interrupt our panelists and all. This is not our policy. But fact of the matter is, how much are you going to blame media for? I agree, Rahul Gandhi is doing length and breadth, but look at the kind of reaction, which is emanating from Congress party. It is not there, boss. There is no fight. Majority of the people, you talk to Congress leaders off record, they do the same thing. Or do you think I'm making this up?
To ask questions on India against corruption. You see, none of the media is asking, and there's a smoke screen that Vishwaguru ban gaye hai, 3 trillion economy, and nobody's asking questions.
You will be surprised. See, you say that no media covers. You'll be shocked to see the kind of coverage Rahul Gandhi gets. He gets wall-to-wall coverage. His entire Bharat Jodo Yatra first and Bharat Jodo Yatra second has gotten a wall-to-wall coverage.
Rahul Gandhi is getting the coverage.
And these are the same people, who were toast of the town when Congress was in power. Boss, I mean, you couldn't handle it the way these people are handling.
No, I don't agree to that. I don't agree.
you are free to not agree with me. We are not in a agreement match, but
we don't have this 8,600 crore rupees of electoral bonds. When you talk about protests, every day we are on the streets. I again say that The largest Padyatra that was taken by was our leader Rahul Gandhi.
Madam, only one Padyatra. I agree. I'm not denying it, but only one Padyatra. You would be hard pressed if I ask you how many protests were there in Delhi.
So either you'll be having a Padyatra or you'll be in Delhi. How can both of them
Both has to
synchronize?
happen. You know, it happens with other parties.
I think
Either if you're focused about Rahul Gandhi's Padyatra, that is given coverage.
Pooja, I think I'll come here. I think the larger point is there is no doubt about the fact when opposition says that they are being targeted because the numbers are on the opposition side. There is no doubt. The statistics is there. But if you were to ask me that has opposition been able to break into the Vishwas ki politics of Prime Minister, I'll say no. I'll say no, because ultimately when it comes to corruption, he becomes the leader in which there is faith. But if you say that, well, these are the statistics, then we have put these statistics out. We have put those graphics out. We have put those data out that the people who have left, and this has been reported by a newspaper, national newspaper. Someone has just compiled the data together, and we are reporting a data which is available in public. Someone has just put it together. It's a different thing what other media houses don't do or do. It's not on me to comment on them. But the fact of the matter is, at the end of this debate, because I know I'm falling short of time, so I would like to thank you and Vandana that despite the fact that there is so much of issue when it comes to investigative agencies, the sort of steam which could have been built is not there. And I think it requires some sort of an introspection by opposition also, that what could the opposition do when Congress was in power in 1990. The same thing has not happened, and the same thing didn't even happen in 2019. Let's not forget the Rafale issue. Rafale issue came a cropper because there's a word called Vishwas ki Rajniti. I think that's for a different debate. But today, the whole debate was about the three tweets which I saw in morning. One by Mallikarjun Kharge, in which he said fully automatic. And
the only gainer out of this controversy is washing machines.
The washing machines.